Hello, Virginia bassoonists. This is Dr. Ryan Romine at Shenandoah Conservatory with the All Virginia Audition Etude Rotation E. Having a look at this music, you can see that I have placed in some breath marks. These are the ones that made the most sense to me, although there are many other options. So you need to make sure as you're putting in your breath marks that if you're not using the ones that I'm using, that you're using things that allow you to continue to make a nice long phrase without breaking it up. So some places will make more sense than others. If you have time to record yourself repeatedly, you might experiment with a few different breath marks and see what you like best. As you go through further, you'll see in measure 11 that I have placed some X's over my B flat and C. These are reminding myself to flick them or vent, depending on what you use terminology-wise. These aren't the only places that I'm flicking, but these are the some of the places that I needed to remind myself to do that. So mark it in as much as you need and use that resource for yourself. There's no shame in marking up your part. Carrying on, there are some markings in the third line from the bottom. So this is 24 into 25. You'll see there's an X for flick and then a line. This is me telling myself to hold down my flick or vent key for both of those notes. It takes a little bit of time to coordinate the thumb coming on the A, and then also rearticulation on the B, but it's well worth it. For me and my setup, I hold down my C key, my left thumb C key for both of those notes. As you go on in the next line, in 29, measure 30, 29 and 30, you'll see there are 4s over those two F sharps. That's me telling myself to put down my pinky, my 1, 2, 3, 4th finger, not counting your thumb, on my right hand, for those F sharps. So pinky F sharp on both of those. It is what we need to do when we are transitioning directly from B flat, which is right before. It does create a situation in measure 31 though, where you have to slide your pinky down from F sharp to F natural. It's a little tricky at first, but you can do it. You'll also see a marking that says lock, and this is me telling myself to put on my whisper key lock. For those of you who have those on your bassoons, it's that mechanism that's right above the crutch on your right hand. And what that does is it holds the whisper key closed. If you put that mechanism on and it doesn't hold the whisper key closed all the way, you might need to add some tape to the little bridge key between your wing joint and your boot joint. If you don't have a lock, this little section is perfectly doable. You just have to be a little bit more careful, especially in measure 31, going back and forth between the F and the D and the F and the D flat. You just need to keep the air steady, keep your embouchure full and open, and then when you get to the last F of 31, you might consider sacrificing the whisper key there if that works better technique-wise and you can keep it in the right octave. You'll see in 32, the marking off, that is me telling me to myself to take the whisper key lock back off, because if I don't, by the time I get to the end, those higher notes will not come out right. You see myself making another marking in the second to last measure to hold down my vent key, again my C key for all 3 of those notes, C, B, C. And when we get to the F, your only challenge there is to make sure that you're holding it for the right amount of time. Don't put a fermata over it, and also make sure it is longer than the dotted quarter. Just observe that tie and you'll be good. So, as always, if you have any questions or would like some help with this, you can send me an email at rromine@su.edu. I'd be happy to hear from you and help you through this. And otherwise, happy practicing.